Welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the vlog, peeps, my people. So yeah, up and coming, the anticipated, well, the requested ab routine from home. You can literally do this anywhere. You don't even have to be in the gym to do this, because I've been doing this ab routine ever since I started weight training. Like, you don't really have to do anything too complicated with or complex when it comes to abs, because it's straight to the point. You just do your bread and butter movements, your foundation movements of like doing crunches, leg raises, sit-ups, whatever the case may be. Just make sure you contract your muscles, and also at the same time you have to make sure that your form is always good, and just a few minor tweaks with how a lot of people do abs. So yeah. Okay, so for today we're just gonna keep it short and straight to the point. We're gonna be uh, this is gonna be an ab routine from home, um, a lockdown series. So I'm gonna be showing a few tips, tricks you can do while the pandemic is still going on, so you can still work out from home, do home workouts, because that's such a thing right now. Hopefully, it will continue even when um, COVID has gone down. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing abs. We're just gonna keep it short, straight to the point, not too scientific, so that people won't get too bored, or I can keep your attention span. So yeah. Um, so we're gonna be working upper abs, lower abs, obliques, and we're gonna do five exercises. So it's probably gonna take just 10 to 25 minutes depending on your pace. But as much as possible, just keep the rest periods short in between sets, and in the most part, um, my advice is do abs on an empty stomach. So when I'm in the UK and Scotland, during uni, when I'm in uni in St. Andrews, I do cardio first. Like, it doesn't have to be too intense. A lot of people are investing right now on HIIT training, high intensity interval training. So I've never really done that, because it's a good way to lean down and cut down a lot of weight, but it burns also a lot of muscle simultaneously in the process. So I don't really do that. I do more of list training. I think that's what it's called. It's like low intensity something something. I don't know. So yeah, I don't want to really do too much background research, because I already know what to do. So yeah, just five exercises. We're gonna be starting with your weak muscle group. So for me, and I think it's the same with everyone, my weakest muscle group is the lower abs. So we're gonna start with leg raises and then leg ups, I believe. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, or if I just made up the name, but yeah, leg ups. It's when you put your leg up. So yeah, leg ups and then crunches my way. You don't have to do the full setup, because when you go past a certain point, it just that doesn't really hit your muscle anymore, and there's not that much tension on your abs, so you don't have to go all the way up. Just squeeze to a certain point. And then planks, and then to finish off, we'll do a bicycle or like Russian twist. I'll do two versions for guys and girls depending on how hard you want to go at it, or how intense or difficult you want to go. Like, there's always like variations you can do, so that it won't be too hard for you. What else do I want to say? So yeah, when you're do abs on an empty stomach first thing in the morning after cardio. So not necessarily after weights, because abs are such a small muscle group at the same time, so it's easy to just like get it over with, like before any hard weightlifting or whatever you do, CrossFit, power building, powerlifting, bodybuilding, whatever. So do abs before any hard, any either or. But for me, like recently, I've been finding a lot of success in doing abs before my actual weightlifting routine. So yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, welcome to this session called abs. Yeah, abs, abs. Okay, abdominals. Okay. So also with the twist, I'm also gonna add in serratus, the serratus muscle, the one right above the oblique, because I get a lot of questions on how you get that, and that's actually a tricky muscle group to grow, because you do that when you do back, when you do dumbbell pullovers, and dumbbell pullovers actually hit your upper chest and your lats, and it connects your obliques and your lats, I guess. Yeah. Can you help me film as well? Grab it, dude. The shot is from there is so nice, fella. So leg raises. There's two ways to do this. One, you can have your knees like bent, or you can have your legs just straight up. But you make sure, since it's for the lower abs, you stretch it all the way down, and then you bring it up. Okay, so first set, just 3 sets of 12, 10, 8 reps, or 12, 12, 12 reps, whatever you want. Okay. So put like your hands behind your just above your butt or your glutes, so that it's, you know, more comfortable. Then slowly go down. So slowly, don't let it touch the ground as much as possible, so you can feel the stretch. Okay, and then for the other variation, if that's too hard for you, you can just have your knees bent. So, like, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's the first exercise. Do 3 sets of that. So for the second exercise, we'll do. I'm not sure if this the name. This is the name for it. I just made it up. So leg ups. It's the one where it's like this, right? Can we go to the side a bit? So it's like you bring it there, and then once it's aligned with like your forehead, so it's like you need a lot of momentum here. So one. Oh, shit. 6. Okay. So yeah, leg ups. Okay, scratch the 12, 12, 12. Do 12, 10, 8 reps. It's gonna get harder and harder, even without weights, as you move through, as you move on. So you have 3 sets of the leg raises, and then make sure it's slow and controlled. Don't just like keep on bringing it up and down, so that you can really feel it. Because right now I can already like feel it, and it's been just like what 4 sets. So yeah. Okay, on to the next exercise, sit-ups or crunches, just to hit the upper abs. Okay? Okay. So, when you do abs, by the way, try to, as much as possible, feel every contraction, right? So what we're gonna do with my variation of sit-ups or crunches, you don't really have to like try to go all the way up like that, because once you're here, you don't really feel that here anymore, and there's no tension. Like right now, like there's nothing, like there's no point in going all the way up. So you just, okay, can you go a little closer? So show that, you know, when for the guys, when you do bench, you put your chest up, so you try to retract your scapula. So it's the same case here. Make sure your back is like, there's like space here, right? So there's space. And then, so this is your starting position. When you crunch, feel your first few abs if you have, or wherever you think your abs are, the upper abs. So, 1. So that's 1, and you'll feel it here already. There's no, yeah, this one. So that's 1. And go back to your starting position where it's retracted. And then 2. 3, and then feel it. Like hold it, feel it. Like hold it for like 1 second or two, and back to your starting. 4, and then don't forget to breathe. Because before when I work out with um, not clients but with friends, a lot of them forget to breathe during sets. So you have to make sure that there's always oxygen because by the end, if you don't, like you, it's sometimes done subconsciously or unconsciously that you forget to breathe when you're doing a set. So make sure that, okay, so the breathing would be inhale, like expand your rib cage and see, so right now it's a flat stomach, and then 2, or that's already 5, I think. 6, 7. Then don't forget to stretch your abs. The whole point of starting from this base set starting point is so that your abs stretch, right? And then so again, 8, 7, 12. Okay. Whew. So that's how you do the crunches. Like you don't literally have to sit up. You just make sure you squeeze those first 2 abs of yours. So this one, and then yeah. And by the end of the workout, the whole point of working out is when you work out your muscles, when you lift weights, you're actually breaking down your muscles. So by the end of the ab workout, if you can still see your abs whole, if you have abs, that means it didn't really, that's not what you're trying to go for. Like usually when I do abs, afterwards my abs look really blocky. So I'm not sure if it's still seen, but the whole, like afterwards, like in the end of this workout, I want it to be like blocky, almost like you can't really see it as much as you can in the start. So before you started doing your abs. Yeah. So that's the third exercise. That's crunches or sit-ups. So do again 3 sets, 12, 10, 8. And always, if you want it to be more difficult, but just start with that. That's already hard enough. But if you're more advanced, you can just like hold it. Hold your abs. Like when you crunch, hold it. And then stretch again, hold it. Or you can always like increase the reps. But usually just 12, 10, 8 reps is like your bread and butter. It's your foundation. It's your like safe. It's your safe number. Don't go under 8. Don't go over 12. Like 8 to 12, it's always like a perfect rep range. Like guys or girls, it doesn't matter. And even with, because usually when I was in the UK, in Scotland, in St. Andrews, I'd always work out with a lot of my girlfriends and like, yeah, Danny, Faye. I'm not sure if I sent this workout as well to Selma, Fadia, Tia, whoever, all the girls I've worked out with in St. Andrews. So I've always, especially with Danny before, we just do all these exercises for like the longest time and it works. It really does. So always just start first on your lower abs, then you go up. And then for your last are the more non-visible, the more subtle muscles. So your obliques, your serratus, I'll show you later in the end. Okay, so our next exercise is planks. Okay, so fourth exercise. So again, just for me, the only problem here, just don't cheat it. Just don't cheat it. A lot of people cheat their planks. Make sure you're not too high like that, because that's a cheat, and you're not too low like that. So just make it like, yeah, is it straight? So just like that, just straight up planks, and do it for. So my advice is, you do first 30 seconds for your first set, but before I always start with a minute, right? So I do a minute, then a minute 30, and then 2 minutes, if I really can. That's when I was at my peak. I can do 2 minutes, but 2 minutes is already like super hard. So do planks, and for Danny before, and what I advise you guys is start with like 45 seconds, then 50 seconds, then 55, and then if you want a fourth set, go 1 minute. But if you want just 3 sets, do 40 seconds, 50 seconds, then a minute. So yeah. Okay. So that's first set, and then I'll do 2 more sets and maybe a fourth set depending on how I feel. And then you don't really have to do side planks. A lot of people do side planks as well, like that. Like I never did that ever in my life. only when I was still in basketball in varsity and I was skinny as fuck. So I don't know, like I don't really see like what's the use of doing that exercise specifically. I always just revolve around 5 exercises when it's abs, and always it's usually these 5 main exercises. So abs, leg raises. Then there's different variations. I'm gonna repost the gym version one later in the day. But yeah, just like leg raises, then you work your way up. Leg ups, crunches, planks, and then for the last, obliques. So we'll start with the 5th exercise, the last, and we're gonna do this by like, not really. We'll do sets, but by not reps. It's like counts. So like I think 16 counts, then 32 counts, then 48 counts, something like that. Because it's like side to side, right? So this is gonna work your obliques. So the one here, supposedly. So here, and then the serratus is somewhere here. And it's not really that seen right now because I'm not as shredded as I want to be. So this is always the finisher. This is the one where you're gonna have to exert like those last extra reps, that last extra push to really feel the burn in your abs. So again, rest periods, keep it 1 to 2 minutes in between sets, and yeah, here we go. So this is, I'm not sure if this is bicycle or whatever, but the goal is to make sure you keep your head just straight. Don't swing too much side to side, but you eventually will swing side to side, but always try to keep it straight as possible. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so that was 48 counts. So before, what I do, so that's the first variation, and that's the one that I suggest everyone to stick to. But I also have extra weights here for like women and for men if you want to do something harder. But that's gonna be enough, trust me. So yeah, keep your head forward and try to reach your knees. Right? So obliques, just obliques. I think if you want a harder version with it's called Russian twists. So you have like a medicine ball, then you swing side to side in the gym, then you're on a decline bench. But scratch that for now since we're doing a complete home workout. And then yeah, so what in your head, it's like, again, like don't forget to breathe when you do your swings, right? Your twists. So yeah, that's like the bicycle, like whatever, or Russian twist, whatever you want to call it. And then so the count is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I try to do that like 1 to 8, then 8 to 1, 3 times in my head, right? So I think that's why I did 24, I think. I don't know, but like yeah, just do it like that. 1 to 8, 8 to 1, 1 to 8, 8 to 1. Then I did that 3 times in the first, and then you'll do that 4 times in the second, and then you'll do that 5 times in the third set. Right? So let me show you again now with a light dumbbell. So oh crap, wait, no, that's different. So you can also do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so that's way harder. That's different from the bicycle, but usually it's basically the same movement. It's harder since you have to keep yourself in an upright position most of the time, and you really have to figure out finding your balance there, because it's really hard to get that. That's why most people do it on the bench in the gym, like on the decline bench, so that they can wrap their legs around the whatever. So yeah, and then for guys who want something harder, and if you have a plate at home, so this is 10 kilos. Okay, I'm not sure if you can just keep your legs actually planted. Okay, no, that's too easy. Okay, so it's way harder. Guys, if you want to try it, just do like, I guess 2 rounds of the 1 to 8, 8 to 1. So that's like from side to side, that's like 32 counts. So just do 32 counts, so that's 16 aside, I think. So yeah, and then since empty stomach, first thing in the morning, right now it's already 4 or 5 in the afternoon here in the Philippines. So yeah, but as much as possible, because my sleeping pattern has been really weird, so I can't really wake up. Usually I sleep at around really late at night or 4 or 5 a.m. since I got back. And when I'm in St. Andrews, when I wake up early, I go to the gym or whatever. When I go to the gym, I do cardio first, like cardio, and then you do abs. And then what to eat afterwards, don't stay away. So I don't know if it's, yeah, so it looks more blocky right now, the abs. So that's what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to disappear. So usually you can see the 6 right now, like it's just blocky. You can't really see much of the abs. So what to eat afterwards, just I'm not a nutritionist, so you don't have to take my advice for this, and you don't really have to take my word for it. But what works for me before is, if you have the branch chain amino acid pill, you just drink that, then eat like 20 minutes afterwards. So that's your post-workout meal. Or drink a protein shake, anything that has amino acids. Most importantly, you don't need, like, so specifically protein, you don't need carbs. Like, you don't need to load up on carbs right after a workout, not unless you want to bulk up or you want your abs to look blocky, right? So with me, I think when I did a cut or a shred for spring break last year, I would experiment a lot with carb loading, and then like cutting out carbs, and then also cutting out water, cutting out salt. It's like a really long process of experimenting. That's why I looked really crazy, and I lost a lot of fat that time. But again, when you do abs, just do so for me right now, soy milk, since I'm not really drinking supplements. So then for others who are, drink a protein shake, drink your amino acids. And for people who like to just keep with like whole foods, like just food, eat eggs. Just eat eggs afterwards, and that's fine already for a post-workout. All you need is like probably 10 to 20 grams of protein after your abs, most especially since it's such a small muscle group. So just drink a BCA pill, and then, or a protein shake, or wait, drink a BCAA pill with like eggs, or like any other light snack, a granola bar, a wafer bar, whatever, a cereal, oats. No, stay away from the oats after abs. But it's up to you. Like, not a nutritionist, so that's really and completely up to you. And then yeah, so that's it. And then for me, soy milk. So yeah. So thanks for staying until the end. That's abs lockdown series. That's the first installation. So abs, and then I'll have the full routine right here. Okay, thank you. See you soon.